Last night at the Stand, I had people coming over saying how much they love the Bonnie show, the Bonnie Unmasked.
Yeah, people still have been tweeting about that.
Is that right?
Still sending me, love the Bonnie Unmasked. It was a really great one, and it was such a fun night.
Well, yeah, it was. So that was just, and Big J was telling me that he was there that night, and I didn't even know about it. Christine was there that night. I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, we didn't even see them.
It was a blast. By the way, I got into what I would call, I guess, the backyard of that place to go smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Last night. But the Stand has also a very cool apartment and then like a little deck area up top.
That's nice.
Yeah. They could turn that thing into quite the speakeasy if they'd like to.
They should go after hours. Love
The
an after
Stand
hours
is just
spot.
it's such a great club that it almost is like anyone's fantasy of what a New York club would be like. Because I was upstairs with all the comics who were either doing the first show or planning on doing the second show, and they're just partying and having their own tables, and it looked exactly like if you were to run the opening theme to Saturday Night Live. We're just funny people with glasses were turning around and smiling at me. You know what I mean? I just felt like I was the camera. Great to see you. It's got that very hip, urban feel for these, young people in their 30s and 40s that are just chasing their art as hard as they can.
And comics love that place. Like always, comedians say that they love the Stand.
But I don't know. I mean, it's very affordable, and the acts that are just hanging out there. Like if you were coming to New York City, the amount of people that you could party with that you see on TV, here on the radio, here in your podcast, and are like some of the funniest. You can just mingle with them.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking, hey, if I wasn't in this business, if I was traveling to New York, I'd rather hang out at the Stand than go to Saturday Night Live or the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
You just see hilarious people just walking around and then ready to jump up and do sets. There's no other art form, I think, that you can mix with the people who do it.
Yeah, that's very true. And it's great how, comedy, when you're seeing it in a smaller space, the intimacy that happens there, it's so much fun.
Yeah, Big J's comfort in that thing of like literally treating it like his living room. Like I was hanging out smoking with him for an hour before we did the show, right? Nothing had changed in what we were talking about. You know what I mean? Like people are like, I was thinking, people should just been standing out on the street with us because it was the same show that they said that they like. Right. And I don't mean the same material. It was all completely different, but nothing changed. It's a very, very fun scene. And thanks to Christine. And that's a weird show for her to do, and all the people that were in that show too last night.
Oh yeah, it's Seth Herzog, Pete Lee, Emily Tarver.
Love.
Yeah.
It's all
they
great.
were great.
Love them all. Shredd Small just stopped by.
Oh, cool.
And he was, about to go up. And the entire night is just, it's always like that. I mean, Louie stops by there whenever he wants to. They have like a standing thing to just, drop in. It's a really, really cool, fun room. And I think it's probably the only room that the seller kind of looks over their shoulder at,
Like, hey, what are they doing?
Because they have this comfortability of being next generation, I mean, there's no doubt that the seller isn't the peak of everything they want to be. But any young comedian is going to be drawn to the Stand because they're going to get a little more time and stuff like that.
Well, that's what always happens with whatever new scene or next generation. They end up going to the place that has the doors open, and then that ends up being the place to be.
Yeah, like I'm turning around saying hi to people, and then all of a sudden the guy's like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hey, thanks for coming out," but it's Sam Morrell. You know what I mean? He's like, "I can't hear back from your guy, Chris."
Oh, Chris.
Chris, we got to work out something with you. Maybe you're not getting the emails or phone calls.
Could be.
The phone calls are a problem, but I did respond to Sam Morrell.
After last night,
No, when he emailed me.
he'd like a date.
I
And
can't wait for it.
He only wants to do it with Joe. He goes, the only time I'm going to come into your show now is with Joe because we get too big of an impact when it's just,
Right.
you know, he goes, I don't want to lose that thing that we have.
Well, they're so fun together.
Yeah, man. We were like in this really lucky, fun time to be all hooked up with that too. Like what people say about how much fun they have coming in here with you, Gal, it's just crazy. It would be ridiculous. I wouldn't tell you because your head would swim, but they were all just bringing up about how much fun they have coming by and doing the show.
Well, it's such a blast. It's so much fun to do.
Yeah.
It's crazy that we get to hang out with the funniest people.
Well, you know, I got the Delco guys on Opie's show, right? And you know, to have Louie Anderson come in, and then, you know, Norton's in here and Vic Henley's in here, but I see it from their point of view, and they were like holding their own, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It was cool for them to come in and mix it up and not feel like they didn't, you know, like they were in a place that they didn't belong. They just came in here and just ran with it. But afterwards, they're like, this is nuts, huh? Like, yeah, we get a lot of people coming through here.
Yeah, it's very funny where you can feel like sometimes you'll think like, oh yeah, this is just like another day, and then all of a sudden you're sitting here and you're like, yeah, I'm talking to David Tell. That's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty crazy.
That's not when we're going, this place sucks.
Right.
This place blows. Well, those dudes were just happy to meet. Oh, that was like a big thing for them, you know?
Oh, the Delco guys? Yeah.
Man. Yeah, they were fun. And then Louie Anderson came into that show yesterday, just held court, man. He is so funny. Did you anybody watch Baskets last night?
I did.
Hilarious, right?
It's so good. It's the perfect mix of how like, funny and really tragic.
And also not letting you know where these characters are going. The Martha swerve was the funniest shit ever.
I was cracking up. I would have never expected that to be the direction of where her storyline was going.
And then the second it happened, I'm like, of course, you know, because she's not going to be just the stereotypical thing. Larry and Yonkers saying, I can attest to that. Went to the Stand on Wednesday, and Judah Freelander just hanging out before his set. So great. And then also somebody said, Larry said this, that the street parking in that area for Showtime is pretty easy. It is true. I don't know why, but that area is a great place to get street parking.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought that.
I don't know why.
But I also just don't think that about anywhere in Manhattan.
By the way, it was Stephen Knight that said the Judah Freelander hanging around. But Judah was probably just happy to be hanging with Stephen Knight.
Oh, yeah.
He's got his new album. I mean, his first solo project. I mean, he's been in that cocoon of a great pop band for so many years. And now he's doing a solo project.
I can't wait for it.
All right, people writing that Breitbart has confirmed the Ted Cruz stuff.
I can't believe it.
Go to Breitbart. And again, this is nothing personally that would change. I mean, I've never liked Ted Cruz from the beginning. So this only makes me like him to know that he's a poonhound.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean,
He loves it.
It makes me want to give him a second look, you know?
Yeah, because I'm just shocked if, multiple women saw something there. I wouldn't have thought it.
I don't get it.
I wouldn't have thought it.
That's the part. All right, so it's not on Breitbart?
I didn't see it yet.
Okay, thanks. Because sometimes people just say stuff like that. You can't necessarily back that kind of stuff up. I hope it doesn't get any traction, and I hope that's not why people vote for him or don't vote for him. but I'm just saying it's out there.
Yeah, the problem with that is a lot of people who are supporters of him are supporters of his because they think that he stands for some sort of values that they can relate to.
Yeah, well, when are they going to wake up that anyone that they've ever put in that position still ends up getting their dick wet somewhere?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At what point do you wake up and say, we have a system that doesn't work? No one can make it work. It's like if you're a baseball fan and you wanted to pick a hero who never made an error and never struck out. You know?
It's crazy.
It's going to happen.
And
People like to get out there and get that freak on.
I don't know why people worry about it. Why they're concerned about it. It's the same thing that I'm always interested anytime there's a politician or celebrity that people have rumors that they're gay. And you start to think like, are we still in a place where people feel that they need to do that? And in certain communities, it is the case, you know?
Dude, Ash, is it North Carolina now who's running a law that's not dissimilar to that one that they're trying to push? And is it North or South Carolina? That's why you gotta, if you're in that position, you gotta be able to look it up. And it's just a anti-gay law. That's all we're talking about. And you're like, that place is getting cooler and there's cool towns, and yet shit like this still pops up. Who cares who's gay?
Yeah.
Who cares who dates with who?
North Carolina.